Hey y'all, it's the last week of stocktober, so I thought I'd bring you in my canning slash prepper pantry room that I have in the back of my house. I don't have a big house, but I have an extra bedroom that I use for storage, and I store all my canned goods here. I have been trying like crazy to get stocked up for the winter. I know I've canned more than I did last year because I've had to open more jars, so that lets me know that I've been canning a bunch, but I've still got a lot of stuff to go. I've got fruits, vegetables, I've got tomatoes, chicken, meat, even meatballs and ground beef. Trying to get everything caught up. This is my prepper pantry. I've got a lot of stuff in here and a lot of dust apparently, but it's messy right now, but I need to clean it up. But I've got lots of pastas and canned food. I've got oatmeal and sauces and crackers and rice and things like that back here stocked up. So I'm going to show you how I use everything. And I've got 3 freezers full. I like to keep them stocked. I love to use my food saver because it makes such great convenience food meals. And also it keeps for like a couple years. I always double my recipes so I can freeze the rest. Got lots of meat in here. We butcher our own chicken, so I've got lots of beef and lots of chicken and pork. I also love to find things on sale like that butter, so I like to stock up and have money in my budget for that. I like to dehydrate and get those things done, and also I have a backyard garden, so I try to use up all that. And here I've got some barbecue that I had made a couple days ago, and I wanted to put in the freezer, but I wanted to make them into individual portions, so I just put those in the freezer and flash froze it like that. That way I can put one of those porks in a bag, and if one person wants a barbecue sandwich, they could defrost that. They could pop it in the microwave, or you could even put those bags in boiling water and cook it that way. And if you had more than one person, just take a couple bags and defrost those. But it just makes the perfect convenience food. That way you don't have to worry about cooking it. It's already cooked for you, so you can just make dinner time really easy. And I love that red 50% off sticker from Aldi. Pick these chicken thighs up, and I like to take my sauces and mix different ones together and put it on my chicken. You could use that with pork, put barbecue sauce on it. That way you could pop it in the crock pot and heat that up. And I like to freeze mine in the sauce open with the open bag, and then I'll food save it after it's frozen. And that way it doesn't have any liquid in it and it doesn't affect your seal. So this is another great convenience item food that I like to keep on hand to help save me money, so I don't have to go out to eat or have to run to the grocery store. So another thing that I really like to have is when I have a sale, I like to do things with the meat, like hamburger meat. I like to have those in different forms. I'll just freeze them like they are. I also patted these out and flash froze them so I could freeze those, and if we wanted 1 or 2 hamburgers, I could just get that out. I also made up some meatballs and a meatloaf. So those are 3 things that I have now in my freezer that I can use if we want a hamburger, or if we feel like spaghetti and meatballs, or we want a meatloaf. I can choose from any of those, and I can have dinner on the table in just a few minutes. Meatballs are really tedious, so I'm glad I got that out of the way and frozen, and I can use that even in a meatball sub. So just a great way to save money. I also bulk buy at the farm stand. They had these tomatoes that looked really good, but I knew I didn't have time to can them or do anything with them, so I flash froze them and put them in that freezer bag. And this one is one that you can open up and take some out and put them back in if you needed to. But I'm going to put these in the freezer for some spaghetti sauce, and I can make that later on. So if I didn't have time to do it now, I can make it a couple months from now when I had more time, even though I never have more time. Another convenience food is making these sloppy joe starters. So all you got to do is defrost your hamburger or use it from the jar that you've canned and add that together, and you've got a quick and easy lunch or dinner. These are perfect when we have to go to the ball field. I can just make that in a few minutes, and we can eat lunch or eat dinner, and we're off. And I love canning beans. These are great to have on your shelf because they take a long time. So if you've got them canned already, you can just pop them in the pot and heat them up. I don't think they need anything. I've never added anything more than maybe some onion powder in there. I think they're perfect. You could also add in some fatback or bacon. And I love having these cornbread mixes on hand because I don't like to wait on cornbread, so I just mix it up per the package directions and make like corn cakes. They're so good and so easy and take no time. So this dinner comes together really easy, and all I did was add some squash and potatoes. I had some cabbage in my refrigerator, and that was a quick and easy dinner that took a little bit over 30 minutes, and I didn't have to go out to eat. And this is the rock star of my kitchen. I love canning chicken breasts. They are so versatile. They are so good and so easy to can. You just put some salt in the jar, add your chicken, and can it. And it just tastes so much better. It does not compare to canned chicken from the grocery store. It tastes like you just made it. And it just makes so many recipes like Alfredo, a chicken pie, a great quesadilla that takes no time at all. And I can make Mexican dishes in the crock pot, some chilies. It makes the best chili. And I put it over a potato. It was so good. And it makes the most delicious chicken salad, especially if you make the relish. I make the relish and the canned chicken and put it together. It's so good with some mayonnaise. You could add in some celery, some salt and pepper. And this is a go-to when I have to make Doug a lunch and I can't think of anything. I'll just make this up in a few minutes, add some salt and pepper, and he's got a delicious lunch. Chuck roast is another rock star item that I have. It can make this meal so quick and easy. This is one of my go-to favorite meals for dinner in just a few minutes. I'll heat up that beef, add in a slurry and thicken it up, make some rice, peas, and bread, and it makes the most delicious dinner. Ground beef too, I love to have that. I can it with tomato sauce, I can it with water, and I can it with broth, so it depends on what I'm using it for. I can use it with spaghetti sauce, I can use it in a soup, in a chili. I'm using the one with tomato sauce in this one, and I'm going to make a quick and easy dump and go chili. I'll just dump all the ingredients in there with my home canned broth that I made, and dinner just comes together in no time. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, as long as you fill your family's belly full with something nice and warm and comforting, especially when it's getting cold outside. These meals are just so good. And I topped it with a baked potato that I had too, so it was so good. This is a vegetable soup that I can, and I can add ground beef or that chuck roast to it and make a delicious and easy soup. Convenience food, but it's so, so good, especially, like I said, when it gets cold outside. This is a must to have. And we love this with the crescent roll. You make your own Mexican either chicken or beef, put it over the top, you put some cheese on top, melt it, add your toppings, and it's so easy and so delicious. I hope you enjoyed this series. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see y'all in the next video.